What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Dennert with Dugout Mugs. If you don't know Dugout Mugs, we're the guys taking baseball bat barrels. We're hollowing them out. We're making some pretty amazing mugs out of them. But we're not here to talk about what we do. We're here to talk about what our guest does. And if you've been following us for any bit of time, you know we have a project that we're very passionate about called the Cheers to Charity Initiative. And this month, we're really, really grateful for Justin Turner, who's going to be joining us in a second to talk about the Justin Turner Foundation. Now, I actually thought they only did something with the military and homeless veterans, but I found out recently that they're much, much deeper than that. So if you would bear with us, hang out for about 10 or 15 minutes. Justin's going to come on, talk about some of the stuff they got going on now and also some of the things coming down the pipe. So, Justin, if you're back there, man, we'd love to bring you on right now.
Chris, before I bring up Justin, I just want to add one thing to your intro. World Series champion.
World Series champion. Yeah, I know. I was at the game. I was in Arlington, man. I made it. I'm a Rays guy. I'm a Tampa guy. So it was impressive. I'm not gonna lie. You boys played hard. That was a win.
So, yeah, that was great. That was obviously. It was a wild year. It was the whole year was crazy. With the whole world shutting down in spring training and not knowing if we were going to have a season, and then game sprint that we had, and going to the bubble in Texas and then finishing the whole thing off. It was definitely. I think anytime you win a World Series, it's something you'll never forget. But that 2020 is definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah. For all of us, right? It was a little bit of a wild year. But, and I from what I know about what you guys are doing at the Justin Turner Foundation, I think it probably was a pretty wild year with a lot of the folks y'all work with homeless veterans and some of the kids and some of the illness. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Everything, like I said, when everything came to a stop in spring training, we weren't sure what was going to happen. A lot of guys actually went home. We hung out in Arizona because we weren't sure if it was going to be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, start back up. And then as we were sitting, we got word that, the LA Unified School Districts had shut down in all of Los Angeles. And that might not mean a whole lot to everyone, but I think digging deeper, what we learned was, when these kids weren't going to school, they weren't getting their hot meal program that was provided by the school district. So families were kind of put out to provide another meal for their kids that they already weren't anticipating to have on their budget. So we joined forces with the LA Dream Center, who's a really, really great partner of ours, and they do tremendous things all over the city in so many different areas. But we jumped on board with them and started doing a food drive and handing out food, hot meals to anyone from the LA Unified School District who wanted to come through and get hot meals to provide their family. And very quickly, we learned that it wasn't just the LA Unified School District. It was the entire city of Los Angeles was hurting and struggling. So I think close to 1 million meals over the pandemic. And it was actually kind of cool because we kind of helped multiple people in multiple ways. The families who were struggling and in need and didn't know where their next hot meal was going to come from, they got to drive through and get a meal. But also the mom and pop restaurants, the little local restaurants in the area, Court and I were calling around, putting in big orders of food to be delivered up to the Dream Center. So we were helping them keep their doors open and helping their, chefs and their waiters stay on staff and not have to lay them off. So the whole thing, it kind of worked out into a great way, even though it was coming out of obviously a terrible situation.
Yeah, I live in Florida, right? So we had a little bit different experience with it all, but similar things were happening here with the kids in the public schools and the foods, and people were packing book bags and things like that. So yeah, we saw a little bit about that. I want to touch on something because you mentioned your wife, Courtney. You probably don't remember, maybe you do. I actually met you and her both at the Pro Baseball Scouts Foundation in LA about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We were backstage, and that's right when we were launching Dugout Mugs. And I'll tell you, she was so kind. What a kind person. I mean, we only chatted for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We were off the side stage. And I know that she's a huge part of what y'all are doing here, right?
Huge is an understatement. She's the backbone of the foundation. She literally does it all. I think, one of the funniest things about our foundation is Court and I are both pretty hands-on, and, we have, JustinTurnerFoundation.com, and you go on there and you look at the website and you see everything and write-ups. Well, Court's behind all that. She designed the entire website. And then also, one of the funny things that happens is, if people want to reach out, they email info@JustinTurnerFoundation.com. And I think that they're just sending an email to they think they're sending an email to some random person who's filtering these emails for us. And then they get Courtney, who's responding to all these emails, and they're like, oh, wait, like, I didn't know I was emailing you. I thought we were just emailing someone from the foundation. So I think that's the cool part about everything we do is how hands-on we are and how just surprised people are when they pick up the phone and as a phone call from someone from the Justin Turner Foundation, and it's either myself or Court who's actually calling them and talking to them. So that's kind of the cool part.
Well, it speaks volumes. You know what I mean? I think it speaks volumes to, the passion you guys have for what you're doing. So I mad respect for that. Right. And the fact that you leverage your platform, which, obviously accolades can go for a little while, and you've done a hell of a job. And the fact that you're leveraging that platform to bring good, that's where we came in a transitional point with Dugout about 1.5 years ago with our Cheers to Charity thing. And so what's really cool is so many guys in many different areas, right? They're trying to the world needs more good. Like, let's be honest, in every which direction you look. And y'all are doing an amazing job with that. And I alluded to it at the beginning, but homeless veterans was one. I knew you were doing some stuff with the kids, especially through COVID, but there's a toy program. There is, you got a golf tournament coming up. Like, there's a lot going on, right?
Yeah, we really have two main fundraisers throughout the year, and one is the LA Marathon that Courtney actually runs the marathon and raises money for that through our foundation. We're extremely proud to be partners with them. I think going on this March will be our 4th year of partnering up with them, and we're actually all set up for runners. If your New Year's resolution is to start running more and you want to run for a cause, you can go to JustinTurnerFoundation.com and you can sign up and run the LA Marathon with Courtney. And if you aren't a runner and you still want to get out and exercise for a cause, you can do the 5K, which is only 3 miles. That's more in my neck of the woods. That's my lane right there. Or you can do the half marathon as well. And you create a fundraising page, and people sponsor you, and we have cool little incentives and prizes for our top fundraisers, signed jerseys and bats and baseballs and stuff. So we've had a lot of success with that over the last 3 or 4 years, and then our biggest one is this golf tournament that's coming up in February, the Justin Turner Golf Classic, which actually started before we were even a foundation. The Dream Center came to us and said, hey, we need to raise a lot of money really fast. We want to open a homeless veteran center at the Dream Center. Can you help us out? Do you think you can put on a golf tournament for us? Absolutely. We threw together a golf tournament in less than 2 months. We did it at Brookside Country Club, which was fantastic. And a lot of people probably don't know what Brookside is, but it's probably better known as the parking lot of the Rose Bowl, where you park your car when you go to a UCLA football game. That was the golf course we started at, and it was a huge success. We got to pump enough money into the Dream Center to open up the men's program, 25 beds, and get that rolling. And now 6 years later, we're hosting our tournament at Sherwood Country Club, which is one of the premier golf courses in the country. It's where Tiger used to host a shootout. And we're just doing bigger and better things every year. We have a welcome dinner the night before that's kind of like a Vegas casino night. We have blackjack and roulette and craps and free dinner, and there's auction items that go off there as well. So those are our two big fundraisers, and like I said, our beneficiary the homeless veterans program and the food bank that we have there. They actually renamed the food bank the Justin and Courtney Turner Food Bank, and it distributes to over 60 food banks in Southern California, which is pretty amazing. And also bouncing around to the hospitals, visiting kids, UCLA Mattel, Children's Hospital, Cedar Sinai, just trying to give them, a bright light, a bright spot in their unimaginable days that they're going through, fighting the unthinkable.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man. I had some friends that spent some time at Cedar Sinai, and there's some, like the world needs some light, just like you said it, without a doubt. So I know anybody who is interested in either of those events, go to his site and check it out. But as far as fundraising goes, that's also what we do as well. So there's a link on the screen, dugoutmugs.com/JTF, where all the proceeds are going to Justin and Courtney and their foundation. And we're also doing some giveaways. I appreciate you autographing a bunch of stuff, man. Our fans love that stuff. So Nate is in the background right now. Anybody commenting, leaving great comments, we're going to be just randomly picking people, giving away autograph stuff. Again, bringing a little light, right? So that's happening right now. So thanks to you. Thank you. And what really got me is, I'm a military supporter, big time. I used to travel to some of the Army bases and speak about entrepreneurship to soldiers in transition. So that's always been a real soft spot for me is the military. So when I found out that was one of you guys' main priorities, that was really exciting for me to get on, and I appreciate you taking some time. I know you're traveling. I mean, it's holidays right now. It's insane.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think that's one of the things that I think is overlooked big time with our men and women who serve our country. There's so many recruiters out there, knocking on doors, trying to get people to sign up, but it's on the other side. There's not a lot of people there helping our servicemen, our servicewomen transition back into everyday life. So, that's one thing that we kind of focus on at the veterans home is, one, just getting these men and women off the street and giving them a bed to sleep in and a hot shower, and two, helping them, have the resources they need to try to get back onto their feet. It's not just to come and stay for a couple of days and then move on. It's a place where they come and try to transition and move forward with their life and find purpose again. Yeah.
And there's, in fairness, we did something with Gold Star Mothers about Broke My Damn Heart a couple months back. And that's the ones that never get the chance to transition. Right. And then the ones that are fortunate enough to do that, they get back and then they fall on hard times and then they end up homeless. Right. It's a whole nother talk. Right? I could go down that rabbit hole, but the fact that you guys are getting in there, I mean, that's awesome, bro. I know it's tough out there.
And things like this are kind of the cherry on top for starting a foundation, right? Like you get the opportunity to raise money, you get the opportunity to impact people's lives, but what we didn't know was we were going to get to build relationships and make friends with these great companies who we form partnerships with, like yourself at Dugout Mugs, who come together and you guys obviously have a great business and are doing great things with your mugs. They're so cool. If you haven't seen them, like, you got to go check them out. They're really.
I know some of your fans probably love that one.
Yeah. I have a few of those in my house right there. Nice. And trust me, even though they're wood, the beer still tastes good out of them. So make sure you go and order them. Great little Christmas gifts. But they do more than just the mugs. They have the shot glasses, bottle openers, a whole long list of things. Yep, there you go. That you can do. And like I said, this is kind of the cool part of, having a foundation that's successful is making these relationships and partnering up to do these cool little partnerships. We did something similar before with Baseballism. With
Josh.
T-shirts.
Oh, no, that's not Josh. That's 101. But yeah,
Travis
is great.
Yeah, Travis. Yeah.
He's great.
So it's been great over the years, just getting to meet people and doing little projects like this, and then building friendships and relationships out of it that, kind of help both sides out down the road.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. And again, so it's some things are bigger than the game, right? This is what you do and what you've done, and you've done it on an extremely high level. But it's like it's one chapter, right? And so many people don't take that into consideration. I think the one that probably impressed me the most, and I mean, you can appreciate this, Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
Like the chapters that he's writing after he wrote one of the most epic chapters, it's just it's leadership, right? It's leadership. You're a veteran in the game. And I think it needs that kind of leadership, honestly, because the more people leveraging their platform for good, for the right reasons, it's going to go a long way. There's a lot of ripples that's going to come from that.
Yeah, exactly. I think, I get asked all the time, like, hey, what's your goal? What's your goal for the foundation? Like, what are you trying to do? And, obviously the obvious answer is impact and help as many people as we possibly can who are in need of help. But I think the close second to that for me is helping the guys in the locker room understand the platform that they have and helping them realize what they're capable of doing. And that's something I think I'm really proud of, is our guys on the Dodgers and the amount of guys that have started their foundations or charities and that are out in the community and really kind of taking advantage of their platform and helping impact people's lives. I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of.
Yeah. I mean, lead by example. That's all you can do.
Exactly. I've had some good examples. I had David Wright in New York, and when I got to the Dodgers, obviously Clayton Kershaw and Adrian Gonzalez both do great jobs with their foundation. So, just trying to continue to rise the bar. And, you see, we have a ton of guys, Walker Buehler, Chris Taylor, Will Smith, Matt Beatty, Kenley Jansen, who all are doing awesome things in their communities. And it's just really cool to see, guys utilize their platform and take advantage of it in a way that's impacting other people and not just trying to serve themselves with their platform.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can always talk about baseball, right? But there's a lot of things out there that are just as important, if not more, depending on who you ask, right? So, well, brother, listen, I know you are with family. It's holiday. You're bouncing around to even make this call work. So I really appreciate that. We're going to get this out to our group. Hopefully you do the same. But dugoutmugs.com/JTF. Let's raise some money. Like, people are buying our mugs anyway, so go buy one. And we're just going to take the proceeds and we're going to, like you said, we're going to help kids. I think there's pets tied in there somewhere. We're helping veterans. We're helping everything. So, do good. It's Christmas. Let's roll,
Absolutely. There's always a need everywhere you look. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're lending a hand to help somebody who's less fortunate than you, then you're doing your part.
Absolutely. Well, Merry Christmas. Tell your wife. I know she couldn't be here on here tonight, but please tell her we said hello. Thank you again for all that she's doing. And go enjoy your holiday, man. And let's stay in touch. There's got to be ways that we can get involved. The golf tournament coming up. If you need trophies for the guys, just shoot me an email. We'll knock that out for you for
amazing
long drive and stuff. They turn out really good. I've done a few of them.
Okay.
We'll roll, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
Sounds good. I appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. See you, Justin.